The All-domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, the Pentagon's UFO investigation unit, created by Congress in 2022 to hunt down unidentified objects that could threaten American national security. Objects that move between air, water, and space. Objects we can't explain. Right now, they're monitoring 3I Atlas. Not NASA astronomers doing peaceful science. The military, the same office that investigates UFOs over nuclear weapons facilities, is tracking what NASA publicly calls just a comet from another star system. And nobody's talking about why. I'm going to show you the timeline, the mandate, and the Pentagon's own words that prove something about 3I Atlas triggered a national security response. In 2022 National Defense Authorization Act, Congress buried a mandate: create an office to investigate UAPs, unidentified anomalous phenomena. AARO's specific job: investigate airborne, transmedium, and submerged objects and devices that are not immediately identifiable, but could impact the US and its military. Read that carefully. Not immediately identifiable, could impact the US military. This isn't research, this is threat assessment, and they're assessing 3I Atlas. July 1st, 2025, 3I Atlas discovered by a telescope in Chile. NASA immediately announces it Interstellar Comet, third one ever detected. No concern. July through October, routine tracking. NASA, European Space Agency, amateur astronomers worldwide watching it approach the sun. Science as usual. October 29th, Perihelion, closest approach to the sun. This is when things changed. Behind the sun, hidden from Earth-based telescopes, 3I Atlas does something. NASA detects non-gravitational acceleration. It's not just following gravity, something is pushing it. It brightens dramatically, 5 times brighter. It turns blue, bluer than the sun itself. October 31st, Congresswoman Luna sends a formal letter to NASA demanding the immediate release of specific records, images, and data about 3I Atlas. Not requesting, demanding. What did she know on October 31st? November 4th, Defense Scoop reports that the Pentagon is monitoring 3I Atlas. The Department of Defense confirms they're assisting NASA. First public confirmation that the military is involved. November 5th, Luna tweets that NASA confirmed Dr. Avi Loeb was correct in his early analysis of the abnormal tail. NASA admits to Congress there's an anomaly. The same day, new images show 3I Atlas has no visible tail, despite NASA's data saying it should have lost over 13% of its mass. 5 billion tons of material that should be creating a massive debris cloud. It's not there. Notice the sequence? 4 months, no Pentagon. Then Perihelion happens. Anomalies emerge. 48 hours later, Congress demands answers. 3 days later, military confirms involvement. Next day, NASA admits anomalies. What happened behind the sun that triggered a national security response? AARO's mandate is clear. They investigate objects that are not immediately identifiable. NASA identified 3I Atlas on day 1, July 1st. Interstellar Comet. Identified. So why is AARO involved? In 2019, 2I Borisov came through our solar system. Second interstellar object ever. It looked like a comet, acted like a comet, had a beautiful tail. NASA studied it for months. No military involvement, no AARO, just science. Weeks ago, Comet Lemon passed through. Gorgeous tail pointing away from the sun, exactly as expected. NASA tracked it, no military involvement. But 3I Atlas? NASA says comet, but the office that investigates unidentified objects is monitoring it. If it's identified, AARO has no jurisdiction. Either NASA's identification is wrong, or AARO knows something that contradicts the just a comet story. You don't deploy military UAP investigators to watch something that's already explained, unless the explanation doesn't hold up. Let's talk about that word in AARO's mandate, transmedium. They investigate objects that move between different environments. The famous Navy UFO videos, those objects allegedly dropped from 60,000 feet to sea level in seconds, then went underwater, transmedium. 3I Atlas is in space. Its trajectory keeps it 170 million miles from Earth, farther than the sun. It physically cannot enter our atmosphere on its current path. So why is the Transmedium Investigation Office involved? Only one reason makes sense. They think there's a possibility it could alter course, or release something. And here's why that's not crazy. NASA already detected non-gravitational acceleration. Something is pushing it off its predicted path. NASA says outgassing, frozen gas turning into jets, normal for comets. Except it has no tail, no visible debris cloud. 13% of its mass supposedly evaporated near the sun, 5 billion tons of gas and dust, but there's nothing there. The same telescope that photographed Comet Lemon with a clear tail 2 days earlier photographed 3I Atlas as just a fuzzy pall. No tail, no cloud. If it's accelerating without visible propellant, what's pushing it? And if it can change velocity once, can it change direction? If the military thinks there's even a 1% chance this object could maneuver toward Earth or deploy something, that explains AARO's involvement. They're not tracking a comet. They're tracking an object exhibiting controlled acceleration. Avi Loeb, the Harvard astrophysicist sounding alarms about 3I Atlas, recently briefed members of Congress on UAP and national security. Not astronomy lectures, UAP briefings. That means Loeb has security clearance for classified discussions about unidentified objects. Timeline? Loeb briefs Congress on UAP in classified settings. Loeb starts publishing about 3I Atlas anomalies, the missing tail, the non-gravitational acceleration, and the statistically impossible trajectory. Congress immediately demands data from NASA. Pentagon confirms AARO is monitoring. What did Loeb tell them? What comparison did he draw between 3I Atlas and other unidentified objects that made Congress take this seriously? Luna didn't write that letter because she thought 3I Atlas looked pretty. She wrote it because someone with security clearance told her something concerning. 72 hours later, the Pentagon publicly confirmed military involvement. Defense Scoop asked the Pentagon directly, is this third interstellar comet considered a national security threat? The Pentagon confirmed they're assisting NASA, but Defense Scoop's article doesn't include a clear denial about the threat question. Compare that to how NASA responded to Kim Kardashian when she asked about 3I Atlas on social media. NASA's acting administrator personally replied, "No aliens, no threat to life here on Earth." 5 words, clear, direct denial. But when a defense journalist asks the Pentagon if it's a national security threat, no clear denial published, just confirmation of involvement. In Washington, how you answer matters as much as what you answer. When they want to say no, they say no. When they dodge, when they confirm involvement without denying threat, the answer is complicated. It's not an immediate threat. It's 170 million miles away, but it's being treated as if it could become one. AARO doesn't waste resources monitoring objects with zero potential to impact national security. The probability isn't zero. During the government shutdown, federal personnel are continuing to monitor 3I Atlas. Civilian NASA scientists furloughed. Public data releases stopped. The Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter took high-resolution photos on October 2nd, over a month ago, still not released because of bureaucratic reasons. But military monitoring continues. When the government shuts down, optional science gets paused, but essential national security operations never stop. Surveillance of hostile satellites continues. Tracking of potential threats continues. 3I Atlas monitoring continued through the shutdown. That tells you exactly how the Pentagon has classified this. Essential national security surveillance, not optional science. Essential. They're treating it like an unknown aircraft approaching our borders. Continuous tracking, shutdown or no shutdown. Let me bring this together. AARO investigates unidentified objects that could threaten national security. AARO is monitoring 3I Atlas. NASA publicly calls it an identified comet. AARO's mandate is unidentified objects. The object shows non-gravitational acceleration without visible propellant. It has no tail despite massive predicted mass loss. Loeb briefed Congress on UAP, then Congress demanded 3I Atlas data. Pentagon confirmed involvement, but didn't clearly deny it's a security concern. Military surveillance continued through a government shutdown. I'm not saying 3I Atlas is alien technology. I'm saying the Pentagon's behavior doesn't match NASA's public narrative. If it's just a comet behaving normally, AARO has no reason to be involved, but they are, which means NASA's identification is incomplete, the object is displaying characteristics that match AARO's threat assessment criteria, or there's a scenario where this object could impact United States national security. December 19th, 3I Atlas makes its closest approach to Earth. AARO is watching. The military is watching. Maybe we should be watching too.